Blue button pushed.
There we go. Ready to start? Are you ready? I hope you're ready because we're already starting.
Okay.
Happy Sunday, everybody. I am Kate Dillon from Crate Insider, and I am sitting here today with engine builder Steve Hendren from Hendren. Gosh, I haven't even opened my drink yet. Hendren Racing Engines.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes, I'm just so excited about having a great show today.
You can do like an apostrophe FS too if you want to.
Hendren's Racing Engines.
Yeah, you can do that too. Yeah.
I just think it's cool that Hendren rhymes with engine.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of cool. Well,
we did just find out. I literally just found out today is National Steak and Blowjob Day.
I have no comment.
I've eaten no steak. I'm just saying.
Well, okay. All right, well, I'm going to say some hi to some folks here. I see, but that was good. That was a good little public service announcement.
Well, it is.
Of
I
course,
mean,
this is
your
on...
significant other, I mean, make sure that they realize that today is, March 14th, right?
Yeah, it is March 14th.
Yeah, it's March 14th.
Yes,
yeah,
1 month.
It's legitimately the day.
One month after you sent the roses.
Right.
If you did that.
Yeah. There's that, but...
All right, let's see. We got some folks here. We've got...
us men are underappreciated, so we need more holidays for us.
You really are. You really are.
No, absolutely.
No, I mean, for real, it's part of what motivates me with marketing is that, like, I'm in all these marketing groups and it's all about, like, marketing to women or, women business owners and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what about the guys? I deal with guys all the time. Like, what the hell, I mean, well...
Food and blowjobs gets everybody's attention.
Okay,
so
we're not
if they would go marketing that way, that would be way better.
Wow.
By the way, you get a hair in your...
My hair gets everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Got it.
Better.
Okay. Yeah. Got my hair did. You didn't mention that.
Yeah, I saw you got your hair did, yeah.
Yeah, you saw it on Facebook, but
you
didn't say anything.
Well, so. I didn't notice it, because at the shop with the weird lighting and everything, it looked just...
Can you tell now?
Yeah, I can tell now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it was even curled the other day. Like,
I'm going to go get my hair did tomorrow.
Are you? Is it, are you coloring it, or are you just getting it cut? What are you doing?
I'm going to get a haircut.
Okay.
Because I look like a fucking hippie right now.
Your hair is what? Maybe 3/4 of an inch long right now?
Yeah, it just feels... Look, it's like all...
Are you going to show everybody?
What?
You like take off
No,
your hat?
no, I'm not.
I mean, you should be loud and proud. Like, dude, I got hair. Look at that. He's got hair.
I got head hair right now, but no, I got plenty of hair. I mean, on my head.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, you should totally be flaunting that. I'm just saying. Totally be flaunting that.
I will not go bald. We'll put it that way.
Well, that's good. There's another holiday today. I'm sure everybody has already figured out that it was, it had to... Well, it's in the electronic age. So daylight savings time, you just wake up and go, wow, the hell, I didn't realize it was that time. In fact, it happened to us today.
I watched it switch on my computer last night.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah. I had to. I mean, because, like, that's kind of cool.
It is.
It's like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock.
Well, actually, I sort of... I was like watching some YouTube and I was doing that little sign.
And now's the time of the year where I feel better too, because it's light longer.
Oh my gosh, this is my favorite. Yes, I wish we could stay on this version of time. I know this is the daylight savings time and this is fake time right now, but I'd rather stay on fake time than real time. Yeah, that's Eastern daylight, and this is now. Oh no,
I don't know
when I'm standard. That was standard. Now we're on Eastern daylight time.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah. Okay.
I like it.
I do too. This is my favorite time.
It wakes me up. It's like beginning of spring, which is like in what, 6 days?
Yeah.
14th, 20th?
20th, 21st, something like that. I always remember solstices being on like the 21st. Yeah. So it should be spring solstice.
Is that like all your witchy stuff? Is that why you know that?
No, it's on the calendar every year.
Oh, well, I didn't know.
Yeah, it's kind of a thing. No, it's not in my like essential oils Bible or anything.
I'm a little suspicious of your suspension of your essential oil fucking Bible.
I am not Wiccan.
I was about to say suspension, but I said fucking. I got it right, I guess.
Okay.
What are you drinking today?
I am drinking a Chelada, a Bud Light Chelada. I'm still gunning for Bud Light to sponsor the show. Yeah, I'm sure.
Only $100,000 per episode.
There we go. That would be great. I know.
And I won't say fuck anymore if we do that.
Except for a slip up here and there.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah.
Oh, shit! I didn't mean to say that. Damn.
Well, I mean, we can edit it out later for YouTube.
Oh, that's hilarious. Let's say hi to some folks. I see Scott's here from California. Christopher's here from Monterey, California.
Oh,
yeah.
Right across from where I used to live.
Nice. Yeah, well, I like Monterey. I mean, that was my favorite aquarium. I've been to a lot of the aquariums.
Monterey Bay Aquarium is freaking awesome.
It's incredible. Absolutely. Yep. So.
Yeah, I've been there several times.
Yeah. Well, and I just feel like it's super humane, and there's I don't like zoos because I feel like animals are in cages, but there's so much room, and you've got the bay, and then
my favorite exhibit, sea otters.
I know, aren't they amazing?
Freaking awesome.
I love the sea otters. They're amazing.
Yep.
And it's cool because you're right down there by Cannery Row. And
exactly. Yep.
It's just really neat and really historic. Of course, I haven't been there in 20 years or something, but it was super cool.
20 years either.
Yeah. Alan is here. Tori.
Oh.
Awesome assistant Tori is here.
Evil assistant Tori is here.
Yes. She's awesome assistant Tori. Jim is here. Oh, and Tori says #holidays. Yeah, we are all about some #holidays in this office because we get try to come up with stuff to post on Instagram. So it's okay, what #holidays are there? And I will say that your holiday today is not one we'd probably post
Tori, do
about.
not forget that holiday for your husband, please.
Oh, Christopher just passed the word to his wife. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, just let everybody know.
Yep.
Here we are already spreading cheer to the world.
Yes, we are. Yes,
with this podcast.
Yes, we are.
Or whatever we call it. What is it?
It's a podcast.
We're
going to call it a podcast because we actually do turn this into an audio podcast. In fact, if you happen to have an iPhone, an Apple device, do us a favor and go to Racing Insiders Podcast and look it up and give us a 5-star review. That way it'll help us, be reached, will help us reach more people.
Yeah.
So we would really appreciate that. I would. Would you appreciate that too?
Right. It makes no difference to my life, but yes.
Yes, you would.
For you, I would appreciate it.
For me, yes. Okay, well, thank you. That's so kind. So, yeah, I mean, my big news is that I just got a new van. Crate Insider just got a new van. And Dirt Wrap, Jimmy Schiltz over there at Dirt Wrap, who also happens to be my brother, just wrapped it. And
did you, drop the picture in?
No, I don't think I can drop pictures. Yeah, I can't really drop pictures.
I'm gonna go on my phone here because I saved the photo.
Aww.
So where do I have to go now to get on here? Fucking Crate Insider?
Yep. So we'll drop it in. But Gary noticed. He says, "I like your new wrap." I do too. The thing is, I trust my brother. He's been wrapping race cars for more than 20 years. So
he was probably one of the originals.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, honestly.
I mean, he went from the cut decals to the wrap. I mean, a lot of people then started calling it. He became the Kleenex of wraps.
Right.
I need to get a dirt wrap, but it didn't matter who you were buying it from.
Well, and that was the name.
Yeah.
I mean, he came up with the perfect name for the perfect company.
Yeah, he sure did. So Steve's gonna drop in that.
Well, I'm trying to figure out how to fucking do it.
Well, it depends on if you're a Crate Insider. You're yourself right now.
I'm myself, so I mean that should be able to. Oh wait, if I do that.
Well, what you might be able to do is just share the link. So it could be because we're live. I think you can't do GIFs and pictures when we're live, but what you could do is share a copy. Anyway, we'll drop it in later.
This is very challenging.
It's okay.
How do I?
Yeah, don't worry about it. Okay, but Gary says he likes my new wrap. Anyway, I'm really excited. I've got the van mostly packed up. I'm going to squeeze every little bit of room out of it as possible. And I'll head out tomorrow and go to Bristol. And then with that, a lot of people know that. So Kelly says, hey, Kate, will someone be at your shop while you guys are in Bristol? I need some 604 valve springs. Yes, I'm the only one that's going. So the guys are still going to be shipping all of that at the shop. So that's not a problem. It's really just me.
Other than the shit you take.
Yeah,
we might be out of some stuff.
I ordered extras, or I left a couple of things here and there.
What the fuck? Why can't I do this shit?
What you might be able to do is like share the link to my particular Facebook post. But you know what you could do.
Okay.
Christopher said, "Steve, you're a classic." Pat's here saying hi.
Hello, Miss Pat.
Yep, and Christopher says
she made us some badass fucking cookies today at the bar.
I thought you weren't going to say F anymore.
Oh shit. Well, only if Bud Light sponsors.
Wow. Wow. Christopher says it's the time of year he comes to life. For sure.
Exactly. Feels like a whole different damn...
Oh, Cash is here. Hello,
yep.
Happy Sunday. Terry is here. Your buddy Terry. He's probably going to find some other story from the wild past and get you to do some storytelling for sure. So yeah, I don't know if I should ask. I always ask how your week was.
Insane.
Okay.
I mean, like now we've got a problem where. All right, so. Everybody knows 604 has been on back order. 602s now are. But I heard from somebody at GM that basically what's going to happen now is they've got 1,400 heads for 604s.
Okay.
That are done and ready to go. So we're going to have 700 engines being released. 602s went on back order due to rings.
Okay.
And now we've got rings, so we'll have 602s here before long.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
But all this shit just puts me way behind.
Right.
Because I do have, I mean, Cash has got an engine on order from me, and we're just, I'm in the weeds. I mean.
No, I was looking at your board. I was there in the shop, of course, yesterday and Friday. You know, working on loading up the van and.
Well, I was thinking last week that I had to start making phone calls and either refund people's money that have deposits or say, hey, do you want to wait?
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing. So.
Well, that's what I've been doing. I mean, this is typically back order season anyway, not necessarily for engines, but I've definitely been reaching out to people with anybody who has, if there's going to be longer lead times than just a couple of days, we've been reaching out and saying, hey, you know,
I mean, honestly, I can only do so much.
Yeah.
I mean, we work our asses off every day.
Right.
But if I can't get shit, I can't
help it. Well, if you can't, neither can anybody else. So
no, exactly.
that's just kind of how that goes.
And you know, a lot of the manufacturers we deal with directly. Mm-hmm. I mean, for instance, I've had to. Normally, I'll buy at warehouse dealer prices, and I sell to my customers at Jobber, which is kind of the standard in the industry. And like here recently, I've had to buy certain products at list price. So I make no money off any of this stuff just to get guys done and push it through and get it, you know.
Yeah. Well, I definitely.
I mean, my brother bought water pumps on Amazon last week.
Are you kidding?
No, I'm 100% serious.
Wow. So. Yeah, they've been a challenge to get.
Water pumps are a freaking big deal right now.
Yeah, they've been a challenge.
Yep.
That's why I usually try to over.
All right, I'm still trying to fuck with my phone here and figure this shit out.
Oh, okay. Well, then let me show you.
Well, I already went there.
Right. Find the post, and then.
Oh, here we go.
Yep. Share. And see if there's like a copy link. More options.
Copy?
Maybe. I don't know. Usually do this on a computer, so it's a little bit different.
Yeah, I don't know.
But hey, you guys, feel free to drop in some questions, and then now you can go over to Crate Insider and you can drop in that link. That's what I was trying to get you to do. I've got a question here. Keep on asking your questions, but I'm going to wait until you.
No, you're fine. Just
okay.
Ask. I'm like.
Here's a question for Steve from Lane.
Mm-hmm.
Says, what kind of fuel pressure should I be pushing at high speed? 604 methanol with bypass regulator.
Methanol bypass system probably about 9 to 10 pounds is what I'm going to say. I mean, that's what we used to run back in the day when we ran methanol on open engines. So I would pretty much assume it's going to be about the same. Like E85, we're running about 8 to 9. So methanol is going to be very similar to that.
Gotcha. Whew, we got a complicated one here from Steve.
Uh-oh.
It's a hypothetical crate engine, 404 SBC Gen 1 crate motor. I mean, that's not, I don't know. Okay. 4.125 bow tie block, 3800 GM crank, from the 383 crate.
3800.
Oh, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. There's no.
225 bow tie Vortec cast a better intake than the 604 intake. Probably way more popular than the 525. I'm gonna go no because it's probably more complicated.
I don't know.
I mean, at least the nice thing about the 525,
really don't
it's all
understand
a
the question.
complete. I think he's talking about a hypothetical crate engine. If it had all of these specifications, would this be more popular than a 525?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say no
Probably
because it doesn't
not.
have any. It doesn't have any branding to it.
Yeah, I mean.
Then there's more opportunities for it to be different or modified, and with 525s are a sealed engine.
Yeah, I mean, not very well sealed, but yeah, they're sealed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't honestly get the question.
It's a spec engine. What do you think about this spec engine? Do you think it'd be?
I mean, spec engines
probably
spec engines.
probably
I mean,
way more popular than a 525.
I mean, here's what I know. When crate engines first came out, there were series trying to run spec engines. You know what happened? The spec engine went by the wayside, and the GM motor took over. Mm-hmm. So
the market decides.
Market decides. Yeah, ultimately. You know, I mean, where are you gonna how are you gonna promote it? How are you gonna get it out there? How are you gonna like make series want to adopt it? When the easiest thing to do is go buy a frickin' 525 for $7,200.
Yeah.
Or $7,500 now.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I
mean, there's no.
The systems are in place, and anything else is. Limited's really struggle. I think in a lot of markets. It just depends.
Well,
every market is different.
To me nowadays, the whole limited late model thing makes no sense. So steelhead stuff and steel block, steelhead deal, it makes no sense. Because I mean, you go buy a frickin' 525 for, like I said, $7,500, $7,600, and you go race.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think there's always going to be the guys that want to work on their own engines, and I think that's perfectly fine.
Well, I have no problem with that because I used to do all that shit. I used to be an open engine builder, per se. Mm-hmm. I've got no problem with that, but I don't know. It makes no sense. $35,000 for this, or $7,500 for that.
Yep. Here we go.
Oh shit! Wrong fucking. God,
and Vernon needs it 525. We'll definitely just get with me, Vernon. We'll get you set up there.
Oh, I just pasted.
Oh, great!
Did it work?
Yeah, look at that. It did.
Did it work?
Let's see. Yep, there it is. So he posted a link to my post. All my posts on my personal page are always public.
With the cool Crate Insider.
Yep. I actually did do it. I actually did it on Crate Insider too.
Oh,
okay. I shared it from Crate Insider, so it's all good. Okay, so we got another question here. I think. I don't know. I love how I just read these without actually previewing any of it. So I never know what I'm going to be saying. Ryan says, my people, how y'all? As always, hammering down on the Mick Ultra. I usually ask
It's Bud Light today, actually.
Okay. Well, maybe he's got Mick Ultra.
Oh, he might have Mick Ultra.
I usually ask to talk about a lot of chassis stuff, but I want to get real today. Mm-hmm. Steve, tell us the difference between the Mobil one that is advertised on the oil pan and a more producible oil. Or he says producible, but I think he means more productive.
Yeah, like the 1550. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, that's what we baseline all of our testing with when we do oil. And there's nothing wrong. I mean, Mobil 1's a freaking fantastic oil. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can ask to anybody that we deal with in the oil industry, and they're going to say, yeah, it's freaking fantastic oil.
Well, and it's perfectly readily available at any of your local auto parts stores.
Correct, yeah. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I've got no problem with Mobil 1. Now, when we're looking at, like, just making raw, what produces the most power?
For a racing application.
For like, say, a 604 or 602, then the Mobil 1 does not do that. Will it protect the engine? Absolutely. But it's not going to produce the most power that you can possibly produce. Now, when I'm talking the most power you can possibly produce, I'm not talking like 20 horsepower in oil. I'm talking like 5 or 6 or 3, you know? So, is it the difference between winning and losing a race? No, it's not. But if you're looking for the absolute best shit you can possibly buy, then that's not what we recommend.
Well, what I'm really excited about, too, this week coming up, that it does relate to all of this, I mean, just to kind of go back to part of your point here too, is let's just keep in mind that especially 602s are often used in street stocks
Right.
or
Correct.
street cars.
Yes.
You know, with your muscle cars, and guys are going to car shows, hot rods. That's the
Right.
word I was looking for. So yeah, I mean, you're not going to have some crazy, you know, super niche oil. You know, this
Yeah.
is guys that are just going to be taking them to the car show, and the GM has to be very, you know, mass produced. Like, what's mass?
Yep.
But what's really going to be good coming up this week is my booth at Bristol. I will actually be sharing it with Buck from Daytona 1.
Well, yeah. there you go.
And we will be talking about some oils. So if you guys have some oil questions, drop them in here, even if we're not live.
That's the
and
man to
I'll
talk
be
to.
able to
Yeah.
have those questions answered by Buck.
You should probably go live with him
Okay.
and have a conversation with people.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I mean, your top 5 Tuesday, you can't do that because you're gonna be up there. Maybe do
Well,
your
no,
top.
I already talked to Alex because I'm going to do Top 5 Tuesday from Bristol. It's going to be a little different than what I would normally
Right.
do sitting at my desk, and maybe I can't do giveaways and stuff, but then that way Alex will still like put Top 5 Tuesday
Okay.
up on YouTube and send out an email to everybody.
Well, I was
But,
gonna say,
yeah.
I mean, just go live during that time.
Yeah,
is what
no,
I do.
and I'm planning on doing a lot of good sit-down interviews
Yeah.
and everything, but I want to go live quite a bit while we're there. But if there are any, you know, oil questions that
Yeah.
you guys want to ask,
Oh, by the way, before I forget, shout out to Tyler Arrington.
I talked to Tyler on Friday.
Yep. Fastest guy last night at Bristol.
Well, I was
in
really
the 604s.
I was really excited for him because I actually talked to him on the phone
Yep.
on Thursday,
Good.
and yeah, so that was
Yep.
he's a great customer and he's supported Crate Insider
Absolutely.
for several years, for years and years. Okay, let's see here. We got some more questions. Christopher says, so a friend in Chico is running a 4412 and a 602, and I've been trying to convince him to run a 4-barrel. So how much power is he leaving on the table?
A ton.
A lot. A
Yeah,
lot.
it's like utterly like a ridiculous amount of power he's leaving on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, good God, probably, shit. I'm gonna say. I mean, I don't know the application, but I mean, if he can run a 4-barrel, or it depends on the 4-barrel he can run, I'm gonna say 30 to 40 horsepower.
Yeah.
Same on torque. I mean,
Yeah.
at least.
I mean,
That's just, yeah, that's like, I don't know. It'd be like kicking a dead horse versus like having one that can actually run.
Well, it's interesting. Like one of the questions that we've, you know, you and I have talked about, or we've gotten on the show before, is that if you have a choice, there's a lot of series out there where you've got you have 2 different engine options. Maybe it's a 602. You can have a 602 with a 4-barrel carburetor, or you can have like this particular spec engine with a 2-barrel carburetor.
Right. I mean, a lot of it's like weight differences, and you know, I mean,
Yeah,
or
there's
the
a
carburetor difference, stuff like that.
lot of factors.
Yep.
But often we look at that and say, man, we would recommend you go with the 4-barrel option. That 602, there's not going to be that much
Absolutely.
difference between these 2 engine
Well,
packages
I mean,
that you're crippled with a 2-barrel.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you look at the Crate Racing USA deal with the 2-barrel open engine, you know, I mean, there's a cubic inch limit and everything else, but I mean,
Right.
essentially it's an open engine with a 2-barrel versus a 602. I've downloaded both deals, and that 2-barrel thing, I mean, the only place I can see that actually being really good, and I know Chico, by the way, so I don't know if it's like a similar rule package to that. The only reason that would actually be really good, I mean, the 2-barrel open engine versus 602,
Right.
is if you're on just some hammered down, you're glued to the racetrack scenario, and it's about a quarter mile.
Okay.
I mean, Chico kind of falls into that sort of range, but I'd still opt for the damn 4-barrel.
Well, because then with the 4-barrel...
I mean, especially if you're already running a 602.
Yeah.
And if you can run a 602 with the 4-barrel and you're running a freaking 2-barrel, run the damn 4-barrel.
Well, and
I
then
mean,
you can get the flat air filter base, which we know makes a difference.
Right.
And it doesn't do anything for a 2-barrel carburetor.
No.
Okay, back to the 525s for a moment. Steve says, you know, quite a few 525s have blown up on startup. Oiling issues, I suppose.
Yes.
That was oiling issues, as well as, you know, when we look back, like a year and a half ago,
Yeah,
it was rings and
well, you have to prime them correctly.
that's a big deal.
If you prime the oil system correctly, there's no explodey issues. Couple of years ago, well, not even a couple of years ago, about a year ago, before they came out with the new Gen 525, they were having rod bolt failures and piston failures.
Right.
They solved that problem. So if a guy, you can't take a 525 and like put it in the car, pour oil in it, crank it over in the starter so you get oil pressure. Otherwise, the thing's going to blow up. So you have to prime it correctly, which it actually, every engine comes with an actual instruction sheet that tells you how to prime the engine.
Right.
And if you prime the engine correctly, you'll never have a failure.
Yeah.
It's
like you
honestly one of the most bulletproof engines out there.
Yeah, but you definitely have to do that startup right. You've built a whole rig that can prime a 525 because you do enough of them.
Right, correct.
Like with the motor that.
Yeah, we prime them before they even leave, and then, a lot of our 525 customers, they're in our area. Right. So they'll come back and dyno, and then we put the oil in it with the priming tool again, even after it's already been primed before it even leaves the shop. Mm-hmm. So.
It's good. All right, Cody says 602 valve springs. Do you recommend top dead center or run in air into cylinder to keep valve from dropping? And what PSI?
Normally, you just put 100 pounds in there, and then, you want to kind of crank the engine over to where it's a TDC, because you can potentially drop the valve in the damn engine. So, yeah.
So a little bit of both. You're still going to put air in the cylinder.
Top dead center, a little bit here, a little bit there. It's not a big deal. Just don't have it at the very bottom of the cylinder when you're trying to do that.
So I'm going to ask you a question that normally would be an off-camera question, but I'm asking anyway because I got it the other day. Somebody was asking me if I sold the air hose that connects to the spark plug hole. Is that something that Crate Insider should carry?
Well, if you own a leak down tester. Mm-hmm. That's what you got.
Right. So, yeah. So just use a leak down tester. Yeah. Okay.
Well, that's the air hose. You just plug it in there, and if you're gonna change springs, go that route.
It's a really.
There are companies that sell hoses just for doing that. But.
Yeah, but you might as well kind of have that 2-for-1 deal there.
You have a leak down tester, which everybody should own, then you're good. Yeah.
No, that's a really good tip, and maybe one of these days. I can come to the shop because when I'm not as busy and when you're a little bit free and not as busy. Yeah. So sometime in August.
10 to 18 weeks from now is what you're saying?
Pretty much. That's okay. That's about when I'll be about a little bit freed up as well. So, yeah there we go. But great question though. Great question on that.
Yeah, I recommend as close to top dead center as you can get. It doesn't have to be. You can't
have to be super perfect, but don't have it on the
unless the piston's at the very bottom of the bore. Basically, you're not going to drop the valve in there, but you can potentially drop the valve in there. So you need to be cognizant of that.
I love how we are enunciating today. All right, Christopher, we're back to the T-Barrel 602. Yep. He says he took it to Watsonville, but the 4412 on it, it's a dog.
Well, yeah, it would be. Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, you've certainly raced at Watsonville.
I raced at
Watsonville,
sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, no, absolutely. 100% 4-barrel, man.
And he ran Marysville last night and was under power.
Yeah, so you would be.
Yeah. Oh, this is good to know. Brian Schwartz says Melling has a nice video for priming an LS.
There you go.
That's great. And in fact, if that's a good video, I'm all about. I don't have to be I never copy anybody's content. No. I'm just going to say that. But if there's some great content out there, thank you for letting me know.
Or put a link in, please.
Just go ahead and drop that link in if you've got a link to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's really easy to do, but that video may explain shit way better than I can sitting here, because to me it's a no-brainer, but some people might be. Well,
that's difficult. The hard part is, it reminds me, it takes me back, 5 years ago, I guess almost 6 years ago now, and when I wanted to start doing videos, and I said, well, why is it the race car parts don't come with instructions? And your answer to me was, well, because everybody knows how to do that. I was like, well, I don't know how to do that. So therefore, no, not everybody knows how to do this.
Yeah, I mean,
so it's really hard when you're super knowledgeable about something to then have that beginner's mind and be able to do that.
I know.
So it's great. I actually have a melling, we don't sell melling oil pumps, but I have that cool melling sign in my office.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. So I'm, yeah, they're cool. I think they're cool. They got cool stuff. All right, Terry says, that's the main points on any race engine. The first startup is absolutely critical in the first startup.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Christopher says, you might know this guy, Kevin Leach. He was on JP2 crew back in the late model days. He was the one that almost killed Sands at the NASCAR banquet back in the day.
God.
I know
it doesn't ring a bell, honestly. Mm-hmm. But it's also been like 30 years and like, I don't know, how many gallons of beer. So, yeah, it does not ring a bell, unfortunately.
Now, here's a great question. Terry says, bought a 602 that was pretty carbonized up in valves and top of piston. Any way to help clean that out?
Run it, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean,
is there any kind of certain fuel that the guy should use or anything?
No,
to try to...
not necessarily. I mean, fuel with the proper air-fuel ratio for, the scenario will, like, clean that out, so. No, it's not a...
That takes me back to, like, the late 80s.
Yeah, you remember back in the day, like, when you'd, like...
Blow the carbon out of
blow the carbon.
Yes!
Yeah.
I totally do!
Right.
Yeah, I had, back in, like, 88, 89, I had a 1976 Firebird with a 400 4-barrel in it. And, yeah, I would do it just for fun. Just rev it up.
Apparently there's like a...
Oh, okay. None of my apartments are on fire, so I'm good. All right.
Yeah, you're good.
Oh, my goodness. And Terry says, hi, guys. Jeffrey says, I got a 604 from GM. Do they come with the valves shimmed, or should I shim them when I change springs?
No, they do not. So, I mean, they can be anywhere from, 1780 is your bare minimum. I'd be really careful with that if you don't have the proper tools in order to determine what your install height is. So, honestly, most of the stuff we've been seeing here recently has been coming through at 1.815, 1.800. So, 20 thousandths worth of shim at the most to like get it to where, 1.780. But, dude, it's not going to make a freaking difference, honestly.
Well, the only difference is if you go over height and could get
well, no, that's what I'm getting at. It's not worth the risk unless you've got the proper tooling to, actually set everything correctly. And then you still have to have the proper tooling that you own versus what your tech man might own. Because those gauges can be off.
I'll tell you the damnedest thing.
So I would be very careful with that. My recommendation is run it as is. Because the difference between, let's say, 1.820 to 1.780, we're talking probably like 5 pounds of spring pressure. So it's not worth dicking with.
Well, and it wasn't too long ago. I remember it was January, and it was one of the Florida races, because we were at the Race Logic Chassis School for the Crate late models, and somebody the winner got thrown out because of...
They were under. Yeah.
They were the wrong install height.
Yes, it's not worth dicking with.
Good to know.
To me.
Not worth it. Phrase of the day. It's not worth dicking with. I'm sorry. It was funny. I just can't help it. But no, great points on.
Yeah,
on
you're not talking. We're still dealing with a hydraulic lifter here. Mm-hmm. So it's just.
And why is that important?
Well, all right. So after like the whole, it was after a different tech session. So I had another engine builder friend of mine contact me and say, why when your engine was tore down, did it not have any valve spring shims on it? Am I missing something? And my answer was, without explaining everything completely, is dyno 1 at 1780 and then dyno 1 at 1820 and see what you get. So that was my answer.
So I'm going to extrapolate from your answer that there's such a slight difference that it really didn't make enough of a difference to even be
when you're dealing with a hydraulic lifter. That lifter has to stay pumped up.
Okay.
What keeps that lifter pumped up? Spring pressure or lack thereof?
I don't know.
Lack thereof.
Oh, lack thereof is what keeps the lifter
Correct.
pumped
So
up?
what do we want? Do we want max lift or do we want, 5 more pounds of spring pressure that reduces the lift because the oil pressure can't overcome the RPM? You know what I mean?
Yeah, so really at that point the hydraulic lifter is the most important part that's going to actually give you power.
There's the problem.
What you're giving up is far worse than what you're gaining.
And so you got lifters that bleed down. You
Yeah.
got lifters that bleed down at, max lift. Mm-hmm. What do you get? Are you getting full lift? No, you're not. So does more spring pressure help you? No, it hurts you. So everybody's all about spring pressure. Oh, gotta have spring pressure. Gotta have spring pressure.
Well, you don't want spring pressure that sucks either.
Well, I mean
you gotta have
that's
some.
what I'm saying. That's what ends up happening. Mm-hmm. So no, so don't dick with the whole. Just run it as is. Is what I'm getting.
No, I mean that's
because you're gonna gain nothing from it.
Well, and that's really good to know. I mean, you as an engine builder, it's not about your laziness that is why you're not
I shouldn't
shimming.
have told that secret live on fucking TV.
It happened. Now, you know what? Now people aren't going to share it because they're going to be like, shit, I got this secret now. And it's going to be like when we first started Crate Insider. I was like, after a while, I started feeling like I was, people's mistress, that they were like keeping secret because, I was giving them secrets. And yeah, here we are. Okay, so 93 octane or VP 110 on a 602, which is better? Danny's asking.
93 will produce more power. 110 is more consistent.
Well, I think it depends on where you're at too.
Well, it does. Yeah,
I think, Danny, I think you're in Oregon, so you're not going to have the high temperatures that you're going to have in.
No, you're not going to have like you do here.
Like here.
I'd be more inclined to run the 93 where you're at if you're in Oregon. Yeah.
Good to know. Yeah. Good to know.
Because you're not racing in 105 degree, 90% humidity. So,
you mean like any given Tuesday in North Carolina?
or just the East Coast in general, or the Southeast, or whatever, or Northeast for that matter.
Yeah.
But I would,
or Midwest.
I'd be more inclined to probably run the 93, honestly. Mm-hmm. In your scenario.
All right, Chuck has a question. I know the answer to, but
okay.
But he's asking you, so we're going to ask you. Happy Sunday, Steve. This is from Chuck. Do you like anti-reversion mufflers on a 604?
Absolutely.
Yes. That's actually what you designed them for.
Well, we designed them for everything. Mm-hmm. We've got them on sprint cars, super late models, 604s, drag cars. I mean, everything.
Yeah.
So, no, absolutely. I mean, it's just, I probably can't rebuild your engine and give you the torque that you're going to pick up with those mufflers.
Yeah, and Willie Krupp told me years ago, because I was calling him about some random, guy messages me and is like, hey, Kate, will these work on like a 383 with a this and a this and a this? So I reached out to Willie so that it would be, well, I don't know, maybe you were busy or I'm not sure, but I reached out to Willie. Well, Willie dynos all those different kinds.
Willie's neutral. He didn't design them. We designed them. So
right.
There you go.
And I know he also dynos all of those different applications as well.
Yes.
Willie's answer to me was, Kate, you can put those things on a rental car and you're going to get more torque. so that's kind of been my go-to.
Well, I mean, back when we first did those, I sent Willie a pair to try.
Yeah.
And Willie called me. He's like, dude, these things are like a steering wheel. If you don't have one, you can't race. Or, have a pair or whatever,
Pam is here, Silva's. She says, hi, Steve, watching from Aptos. How you doing?
Oh, freaking
I
awesome.
think Aptos is beautiful. It's right there with Capitola. What a beautiful, beautiful area.
Well, I mean, Pam and Jeff Silva with, you know, they've got their apple farm.
Oh.
Yeah. And they're two of my best friends ever. I love them to death.
Wonderful.
And I would love to go back home and go hang out with Pam and Jeff.
Well,
or have them come out here, because you know what? You haven't been out here since I frickin' moved here, so you all need to come.
Okay, so Pam and Jeff, I have 2 Airbnb apartments, townhouses, so there's places for you to stay.
Yeah,
so,
for free.
For free, yes. So we'll hook you up. Got 2 townhouses that
Get your butts over here.
Yep, come on out. But you know, I somebody asked me earlier this week, either it was on the phone or messages. I do so much communication; it's really hard for me to keep track of which is which.
They can come watch Alex race.
That would be great.
That'd be fun.
But somebody was asking me about getting you in a car, and I was like, well, you know, you get them a ride. I said, you know, but we just have to put it on the schedule. I mean, like, once we get through the mask thing on airplanes, which you won't do, but on the other side of that, as long as we just put a date on the calendar, then if you just like, hey, come when you want to come, that will never happen. We just have to literally schedule it and just say this is when you're going, and we'll have to get you a plane ticket.
Well, I mean, I've talked to some friends here recently.
Not now.
No, I've
obviously.
talked to some friends here recently, like in California, like around the Antioch area where I used to race, and you know, I'm like, yeah, I'd come back and race, but I'm not wearing no fucking mask on a damn airplane.
Well, you know, I don't think we
So
have that much longer to wait.
when that shit goes away, then I'll be good.
Then let's book a trip. Because
absolutely.
Let's just do it. Yep. All right, Christopher says, when do you think the LS motors are going to come in? They're not on back order, are they? The LS motors?
Come in. No, they're not.
It's just 602s and 604s that are on back order right now.
He may be referring to when is, you know, I mean, when are they going to take over?
Oh, okay, maybe. Yeah.
It'll be a while, if that's the question.
If that is the question, I think the one barrier in that is that we move from a straight up carbureted engine into adding a computer with an ignition program, or what kind of programming is it ignition?
Well, we're doing that with 604s right now.
Well, you don't have a computer thingy to turn it.
Yeah, we do.
Oh shit. This should be happening off camera so I don't look like an idiot.
Well, just saying. There's some new ignition boxes out there that we tune with computer.
I mean, I didn't know you were tuning with the computer. I mean, I knew you were going. I knew you were doing some stuff with the E7 and trying that out. But I didn't.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize that you were going to like timing programs.
No, we're doing everything timing with computer right now.
Okay.
But it's not for everybody. I mean, we're talking about this is a $high deal. This is us experimenting.
Yeah, which can go really, really well.
Or really fucking bad, really quick.
That's the part about prototypes and experimentation. You just never know. That's
why my kid's a crash test dummy.
Well, let's not say that. Let's go with like test driver or guinea pig.
Crash test dummy, like, totally fits the freaking scenario.
It kind of does. All right. Christopher says, so what brand and CFM 4-barrel do you recommend for the 602? Well, you know, a lot of this is also going to, big caveat here, it always depends on your rules.
Yeah, it depends on the rules.
Always.
Obviously.
But
what we use most often right now is either a 600 or a 650 Venturi size billet center section carburetor.
Yeah. I usually sell like the 650 CFMs.
Right.
Is pretty much what I do.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of standard. And
what baseline on the jets? What he's also asking. Well, that's going to depend on fuel.
That's a loaded question. So yeah, that's like whatever fuel, whoever built the carburetor. I mean, there's so many different variables. I mean, what are the emulsion bleeds? What are the air bleeds? Jetting, as far as jets go, like changing the jets. Nowadays, we don't even hardly even mess with the jets. Mm-hmm. Everything's like air bleeds and everything else. So.
Well, and what's your altitude?
I mean, yeah.
Size of your track.
If we're talking like whatever, yeah. I mean, within different fuel ranges. So
yeah,
there's no good answer to that, man.
All right, let's move on to another one. So Brody says, what's the MSD RPM pill that you recommend? Now, that's going to depend whether we're talking about a 602 or a 604 here.
604, I'm going to say 68. Mm-hmm. Because the engine will actually overrun that by about 200 RPM. 602, I'm just going to say 64.
Yeah. It's a safe range. And then, tell us a little bit about valve float. I'm just going to expand on the question here.
Well, I mean, legitimately like a 60, well, with the newer springs, it's not so much, but like the 604, I mean, you're going to go into valve float about 68, 6900.
And then what does valve float do?
Well, I mean, the valves just
hang
floating.
out.
That's what's
yes,
called
and
valve
then
float.
therefore you lose power because you don't have the pressure.
Correct.
I mean, I know these. I mean, I'm there might be some beginners in our audience, and I want them to walk away feeling smarter.
So no, I mean, yeah, 68 and 64 is like my two recommendations. 525, you're looking at like 7,300. Do not go above that, or you're going to be slinging shit out of it.
Nothing like throwing a rod on lap 3.
Well, I mean, there becomes top end failure issues with them.
We don't want that. All right, Terry says, if your distributor is locked, do you still set timing at 0 on a harmonic balancer? Is there a better way to figure out timing?
Well, no. I mean, if your distributor's locked, then you mark like 34 degrees. I'm going to say 34. I mean,
34 is your go-to. 34 is your go-to.
34 to 38 is like normally where we're running a lot of this stuff.
But 34 is your go-to.
34 is always safe. Always safe.
Yep. Okay. Only 38 so if you're on a chassis dyno.
I'm going to say 34 degrees. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, with the distributor lock, 34 degrees. And what was the other part of it?
Is there a better way to figure out timing? Do you do it at 0? Do you still set timing at 0 on a harmonic balancer? Or is there a better way to figure out?
No, I think you're kind of referring to like one of those adjustable dial lights. So mark your balancer 34, adjust the light to 0, set it at 34.
Okay. Good deal.
I have had people who have blown engines up because they'll say, okay, 34 degrees. Then they set their dial light on 34 degrees. Then they got 68 degrees of timing. And blammo. So
it's good to be
go
very
buy
specific.
a cheap ass freaking timing light at Advanced Auto Parts. Mm-hmm. That doesn't have a dial on it. Use that. Set it to 34.
Good to know. Good to know. Pam says she'd love to come see you, and she'll be in touch.
Well, I hope so.
Good.
Damn it.
Good.
Get your asses out here.
Yep. Cameron says, how is my special counsel group doing today? Cheers, and so happy to hear you guys on this beautiful Sunday. What more could you ask for dirt cars at Bristol Motor Speedway? And Kate and Steve on Crate Insider or Unsealed.
Oh, there you go.
Uncut, but Unsealed. Yeah, no, there we go. There's always something to be grateful for, I'm going to say. I'm hoping, I haven't looked at the forecast today or yesterday, but it was looking pretty sketchy this week.
For Bristol?
Yes. Well, and here too, with the R word every day. And not the one that gets you canceled, rain. I'm just going to be specific. The word rain is what I don't want to curse this, but I don't want to say the R word and have it be out of context and get into like cancel culture. So cancel people, I'm talking about rain.
Are you talking about racism?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, the other R word.
The other R word.
The other R word, yeah. But, R word in the dirt world is R-A-I-N.
Yeah.
Yes. There we go. James says, hi, Steve. James Nobles and the boys here in Tabor City. Watching. I bought new E85 carb at the trade show. Never got paperwork on getting ready to install it.
Okay, just give me a call on Monday and I'll let you talk to my brother.
Yeah.
And he will hook you up, man.
Well, and you can probably email your whole carburetor instructions.
I could, yeah.
Yeah.
But it'd be easier, honestly, to make a phone call. Mm-hmm. Just call me Monday. Let you talk to Mike. Because my brother's the one that builds all the carburetors, and he will hook you up, man.
And I'm just gonna drop your phone number in here really quick. That way, because I have it memorized.
I'm gonna go get another fucking beers.
Are you okay?
I am.
Gotcha.
Because you know what? I feel great today because I got another hour of sunlight.
Yes, another hour of sunlight, and you're gonna they could abandon me with the folks. So if anybody has questions for me, I'm I'm not nearly as popular as Steve, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Let's see. Brian, I'll get to your question as soon as Steve gets back. I do know the answer, but I will wait till. Well, then you'll correct me, so I'm just going to let you tell the answer. Cameron says, by the way, Kate, the Crate Insider van looks absolutely awesome. I mean, I'm thrilled. I mean, I just let my brother just run with it, and I thought he did a great job. We talked about different designs and different kind of graphics and things, but in the end, like just putting this giant Crate Insider logo was like the best way to go, and just absolutely stoked about it, for sure. Okay, so Christopher says, okay, what's going on with the old race videos? I don't have any more. Well, number one, I don't have any more, but number two, it's like, it is our crazy busiest time of year, so I'd have a little bit less time. I originally did all of those myself. Now I have amazing assistant Tori who's helped me with some of the digitizing of some of those older racing videos, but I'm out of videos. So anybody that's got some, if you already have stuff that's digitized, it'll be faster, and then I can get those right up on YouTube. I'll just do a little bit of a little like title screen on them, and for my thumbnail and stuff.
Oh, I should send them.
But yeah, otherwise, just throwing the word out there. If you've got VHS tapes, send them. All right, so here's the question, Steve, from Brian: any advantage on flat top and bottom air cleaner?
Yeah. Bottom, yes. Top, not so much. The advantage of the top is you can actually see over the damn thing. The bottom, yeah, like on a billet center section carburetor, you're looking at probably, well, hell, we did dyno one the other day. It was like 7 horsepower.
You know, and that's very consistent because. And what were you comparing it against?
A conventional like Sure Seal drop base.
Well, you know, and years ago when we first got the flat bases, we tested them. We didn't just like pick some air filter base out of the junkyard and then try to come up with some magic numbers. No, we were testing against at that time the R2C drop base was the best thing going.
There was that one, and then there was the Sure Seal. So. Yeah,
and I didn't know about you testing those back then, but back then it was 6 horsepower and 6 foot-pounds of torque on a 604. And those results have been repeated, whether it's, you know, of course we've consulted with Willie, we've consulted with CV Products, and there was another dyno shop on the East Coast of North Carolina. So over and over again, we found these same results.
Exactly. Yep.
Is that 6 to 7? So great.
100%. Mm-hmm. So I mean, the top seems to make really no difference.
Right.
But like the advantage of the flat top is like you're not looking over another 1 inch worth of hump.
Yeah. We already got 2 inches off the top of the carburetor to the bottom of your air filter.
Yeah.
We are kind of transitioning more into the 3-inch filters rather than the 4-inch.
Yeah, correct. I mean,
because our 3-inch filters is 4 inches tall. Our 4-inch filter is 5 inches tall because of all the extra urethane on it.
The walker stuff. Yeah.
The walkers, yeah. Okay, Jeff says, how much of a worry is there really about the back order problem with this 602, 604?
I mean, from what I understand from the other day is, I've got 6 brand new 604 or 602s to do right now, and they're on back order. I cannot find one anywhere. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've looked, trust me, and what I'm understanding is probably within the next few weeks they're going to be released. So
that's not too bad.
No, it's not too bad, and really the 604s I think are not as bad potentially as what they thought they were going to be.
Mm-hmm. Oh, good, because we were talking about late April, early May.
Yeah, I think
it sounds like they've sped that up.
It's going to be sooner than that, I believe.
Good.
I mean, GM knows. Trust me, they're getting their freaking phones blowed up.
Oh,
Bill Martin is probably getting his ass cussed out every day. So.
Well, it's like lost sales opportunities for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
You know,
I mean, and the dealers I deal with probably the 3 biggest dealers on the East Coast.
Yeah, so do I. Yeah.
And they're blowing Bill's phone up every day. So.
Are they here yet? Are they here yet? What's the status?
Yeah. And they've all got like an assload of them on. As soon as 602s come out, I'm on the hot list to like. They know as soon as like they get one in the door, I'm getting a phone call.
Great. I'm so glad to hear that because I just actually got an order for one too. Christopher says, I will look and find some of mine and send out, but I really enjoyed watching them. That's great. Talking about the old VHSs. So yeah, please do.
Please
and
do,
obviously
absolutely.
I return them. You know, obviously I can't guarantee. I mean, we're talking about old VHSs have been made for quite a while. And
honestly, some of the ones that I brought you over, some turn out great, some turn out, wonky.
Yeah, we do our best. I mean, all you can do is it's really interesting going from analog to digital.
But it's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole thing about it. It's like the whole racing racing rewind.
Yeah, racing
it's
rewind.
It's fun as shit.
Yeah, it is. And I'm still waiting for somebody to send me races from when my dad was racing. There's one, but my dad looks at it and goes, seriously, this is
worst race.
The worst race I've ever run. I'm like running this package that I have to run for like my points and stuff. And it basically, he was like a crate car bringing it to a super race.
Yeah, he was like going to race against Moyer and shit.
Yeah. and they got this super stuff. He's like, really? Like, that's the race that you can find where I'm racing in it? It's like, not indicative of his great
Well, what was
performance.
hilarious is like you were all excited. Oh, I got to race with Dads.
Yeah.
And then your dad's like, oh, what the fuck?
That was exactly the reaction.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's like, man, I showed up to that one with a, like, everybody else was running, and here I am, like, crippled by this package that I had to run. Yeah, it was pretty funny. Yeah. Okay, so, let's see. Paul says, that a boy, drink the big boys.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God, are you drinking 40s?
No, I'm drinking, what are those?
I think
32s?
they are. I think aren't they 40s?
I don't know. Fuck.
I feel like
it's freaking beer. I mean,
yeah, I know, because you need.
Normally, I got the kegerator.
I was gonna say, while I'm gone, you need to go and retrieve the kegerator.
But the kegerator's at my friend's house.
I know. You need to retrieve the kegerator. Like by the time I get back, the kegerator should be living. Yeah, should be back home.
I might do that.
Yeah. Roy says, "Hey guys, recovering from a great night of racing in Hanford. Oh, that's going to be out there in Oregon. There,
I raced at Hanford,
California?
California.
Oh, okay. Well, I was on Roy's podcast this week. On the
I mean that could be Hanford.
Well, no, it could be Hanford, California. I don't know.
I assume. Yeah, I raced at that place one time and I won. I loved Hanford.
That's a good. Yeah, I won. Therefore, I love it. Yes.
Well, I mean that's like one of the few places you go race and you win, and it's the best fucking racetrack ever.
All right, Dave says, talking about carburetors, what kind of spacer do you recommend?
For what engine?
I think that's going to depend. So a 602, you're going to recommend. Well, you've got one of two that you're going to recommend.
Yeah, it depends on the carburetor.
Depends on the carburetor and combination. 604, we've got our go-to. The 5/8 inch 604 spacer HVH. From HVH, which I will have. There's some in the van.
Okay.
Right now.
Yeah. You'll have them at Bristol.
I will have them at Bristol. And while I was at it, I might as well go ahead and throw in some carb gaskets. Just kind of have them. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, like on the 604s, the 5/8 spacer is like the best thing that we found. Same top end power as like a 1 inch, but like a little bit more low end torque. Again, the difference between winning and losing a race, probably not a big deal. Like if you got a 1 inch, you don't have to buy a 5/8.
Okay.
Unless you want 4 more foot-pounds of torque.
And it depends on your rules, because if you're IMCA, you have to run whatever IMCA
whatever their
says.
shitty ass spacer is that they gotta run.
Yeah, that one exactly. Okay, Brian says, have you run a drop base on a billet with a 2 inch or taller spacer?
Yes, I have, because we were doing that years ago, running like the drop base with like a 2 inch spacer on it and all that stuff. And it's no comparison. On a billet center section carburetor, there's no comparison to that and the flat base. The flat base kicks the shit out of that thing every time. Now, if we're talking like an old HP style center section, then it's pretty much there's no advantage either way.
Gotcha. Pam says she's got videos from the late 80s, early 90s. We'll try to get them digitized so you can see Jeff and Steve racing together.
Well, if you will send them, we can digitize them.
Yep.
Please.
Yeah, we can, and then we could put them up. We got
You don't have to worry about
Rewind.
doing it
I'm just
because
gonna,
we got the whole deal to do all that stuff.
Yep. And I'm gonna type in the.
Put the channel up there.
I'm going to right now, so you can easily do racingrewind.com, and I have it set up so it's actually a redirect over to YouTube. That's what it is.
And
so
again, if you'll just send them to us, we'll digitize them. It's not a problem.
The we means me. I'm just saying.
And then, no, yeah, it does.
We means me. It's all good.
And I'll ship them back to you.
That's true. Yes, you're the shipping guy, so I'll just take them. Hey, send these back to Pam here. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, we'd love that.
Because odds are you guys got races that I don't have.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you go to the channel, I've got races you don't have. So
yeah, and I just dropped in that link so she can go and check it out, and it's got the dates. I always like to say where it's at, you know, the track name, the city, and the date. You know, and if sometimes we don't always know the exact, like, is it August 19th or is it just sometime in 1992? I don't know. You do the best you can. So there we go. Christopher says you were a beast in that 29 car. You were a beast. You're still a beast.
Well, I mean, you know.
Yeah. And he misses the
know.
NASCAR wins.
I'm like old as fuck now, so I don't. You know what I miss?
What do you miss?
I mean, from back there.
Right.
I miss the
food.
No, God, no. I miss the racing.
Okay.
The racing there was amazing.
Because like you got to pass people.
Well, I mean, here's what we had. We had a bunch of us that raced together twice a week, 2 to 3 times a week. Mm-hmm. We were all freaking awesome friends. And I mean, every now and again we get like pissed off at each other. You know, I mean, you'll have that in friendships, but like we all raced together every week, and it was so much freaking fun. And then like after the races, there was they'd let the whole grandstands like go into the pit area, and they'd hold payoff for like an hour.
Yep.
And then like all the people could come in and like intermingle with the race car drivers they liked and stuff like that, which was really fun. And then, you know, we'd go get paid off and then we'd all leave. You know, everybody's like, the night's over, you know. But like when I moved here to like North Carolina, we didn't have that. There was no, you know, you had the fan in the grandstands and they're looking from however far away, and they never got to meet any of the race car drivers.
Yeah, that's fascinating to me too.
It was really disappointing. So the one thing, I hate NASCAR, but the one thing I can say NASCAR did on that short track level was make a fan driver interaction that was really, really special, honestly.
No, I mean, I'm going to 100% agree, because while you may have been racing out there, I grew up in Iowa.
It was a very similar
And it was
situation.
exactly the same thing. Yeah. So when I was a kid, you had to be 16 in order to be in the pits.
Correct. Same in California.
So when I was growing up, it was my mom and me and Jimmy up in the stands. So and it was also saved money for the family, because it's always cheaper to get into the grandstands. But we couldn't wait until like when the races were over and everybody gathered around right under the
pit
flag stand.
The entry
right under the flag
pits.
stand. There's one little gate, and everybody's like, like freaking mobbed around it, and then they open it up, and then people are just running out onto the track. Right. And then, I saw my dad. I had my own little autograph album that I would go and get the autographs from other drivers, and other people would as well. And they'd take the program,
and that's how I grew up,
and sign that. And yeah, absolutely.
When I was a kid, that's what we did.
Well, we also didn't have 9 divisions racing. We also weren't racing until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. It was done by 9:30, where they're having a couple of beers, and then we go to like a pool place or something afterwards.
Like one of the most disappointing things to me, like when I moved here, was that. Yeah. So, I mean, I ain't throwing off on any particular racetrack because they're all the same here, because they all go by the same deal. Right. But like when I went to race at Cherokee Speedway back when it was a half mile, and like the first time I showed up there, it's like green flag dropped, checker flag dropped on our race. Yeah. And then there was like 4 more divisions after us. Right. And they're paying us off, and they're like, get the fuck out of here. Yeah. And like no fan in the grandstand got to meet anybody.
But, I think one thing that we've seen from 2020, I'm not going to say the C word, but from 2020, and like one thing I'm looking forward to next week is, as I just keep saying, you know what? I get to go do racing things with my racing friends.
Oh, absolutely.
And how much we miss the camaraderie of being able to get together.
Yeah, for sure.
With other people in our industry, because usually we can find those little pockets anyway of being able to see our friends, and we haven't been able to do that.
I miss racing in California like crazy. Mm-hmm. I mean, back in the day. I mean, I don't know how it is now, but I mean, back in the day, like Pam and Jeff.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. We'd sit in the frickin' pits drinking beers.
Mm-hmm.
Race it in at like 11 o'clock. We'd be drinking beers till, 12 or 1.
Yeah.
Waiting on payoff and go get paid off and then still drink a few beers and shoot the shit and have a good time. And, I mean...
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have that here, which is sad. Because I think...
It's missing an opportunity, really.
I think like racing in the South and... I mean, the Northeast is pretty...
Oh, yeah.
It's very similar to what we grew up with.
Yeah, I think this is just the one outlier that,
but
in
the South, it's like really freaking boring, honestly.
Yeah, it's
you
not as much connection.
Yeah, no, I mean there's no fan interaction with any racers.
Yeah, and there's no effort to make that happen, and that's really a sad state for. It's really holding back opportunities for Southern racers. Because if they can't connect with the fans, then they can't actually do a lot for their sponsors in person. And if they don't have a strong digital presence, then it's really going to hurt them on sponsorship. Unless we got to do something about that.
I mean, a lot of that is like social media too.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Because I mean, how many times on social media have you seen people go, "Oh, that freaking dick that wrecked this guy or that guy or whatever," by some dude who's never met that person.
Yeah.
I mean, if you meet that person, your opinion of the whole situation might be completely different. Mm-hmm. I mean, it amazes me.
Well, and it actually, the separation doesn't create it. If the idea is that we want to create like, race car drivers are elite and that they're above you, it doesn't create that.
No.
At all. It's just they're separate and they're not a person. And what we need today to sell is authenticity. This show right here does more for either one of our businesses than any of the other stuff that we do.
Do you know how many times I've heard, like, since I moved here, it's like some asshole will come up to you at the racetrack. I mean, on the rare occasion you actually meet somebody. Mm-hmm. They're like, "Yeah, I got a 55 Chevy with a 350 and blah, blah, blah." You're like, okay.
Awesome. That's great.
I mean, there's no. They don't connect what we do, or people do. I'm not me so much because I haven't raced in fucking 5 years, but like they don't connect what we do,
right,
with reality,
right?
Because they're 55 Chevy with their 350 Chevy engine or whatever in it, and they think that they're like, "I'm burning up the backwoods," It's like, no, it's no relation.
My dad's 55 Chevy, not burning up the backwoods.
No, it's not. That
was
fucking
beautiful. Saw those the other
by
day.
the way, today, shout out to my buddy, Jason Orr.
Right on.
955 Automotive, Gary, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
One of my awesome freaking friends.
Yeah, no, I love Jason. He's awesome. He's hilarious. Yep. I love him.
So if you don't go to me, go to him.
There you go. Jason says, when will you get some more valve spring removers? Actually, we have some. They just came in. Yeah, we just got to update the website. I'll make sure we do that. Terry says, is the best way to set fuel air mixture by using a vacuum gauge? I'm going to let you talk about that while I go get another...
well, there's not a lot to talk about.
Oh, okay. I'll find a question
the simple answer is no.
Okay. Dave says, I have a Wilson open hole on my 602.
What do you want?
No, I'll get up.
You want to meet Chilla?
Yeah, I'll get up. I'm good.
Oh, so you want to leave the program?
I want to leave you in charge, yes.
No, that's not going to happen. So what do you want? Another meet
Pam says, no, I'm good. I've got water and stuff. Pam says, love being able to go see the drivers after the races. Nick's favorite driver wasn't his dad. It was Bobby Hogue.
That's Pam and Jeff's son. Hey, you know what? You know what's bad? That was my favorite driver, too.
Well, of course, Bobby's a good friend of yours.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think that was junior and senior,
That's
right?
what I'm saying. Like, we're all, like, such good friends. I mean, God, I miss everybody out there.
Yeah. Brian says, hey, guys. Well, and, of course, Brian Littleton is from Race Logic.
Yep.
And, man, if there is one thing that I've been saying over and over and over again this year, I answer a lot of questions through the week on the phone. And over and over, it's like, man, I learned that at Race Logic. Damn, I learned that at Race Logic this year. Having that crate late model class was absolutely a game changer.
I'm telling you, that was freaking awesome. What do we have, like 100 and something people there?
Yeah, and now we've got even more people that have ordered the class online.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Because they need to.
Yeah.
Because, like, the information you get there is, like, I don't know, like second to none.
Yeah. I'm going to agree.
I mean,
because it's the experts all talking about the stuff that they're
people,
expert in.
Yeah, you've got people giving info.
Yeah.
Essentially for free.
Right. Yeah. It's, and giving secrets. Actually, it's use the restroom, so I didn't want to announce that. But you can read comments,
so you
and
gotta
I'll
pee?
be back. Great, thank you for that. Yeah.
Kate, you going to pee?
Yeah, thanks.
Kate's going to pee, so apparently I'm fucking stuck here by myself. Damn it. Wow. Alright, I gotta scroll here somehow. Alright, put up with me. Alright. Oh, another Daytona 1 challenge. Yeah, they might actually do that. I can hear you peeing. I am no good at this, dudes. I'm like, fuck, sorry. This might be the most boring fucking part of this whole show. Glad to see you. Oh yeah, that sounds like fun. Alright, any questions? Because apparently I have to, like, occupy 30 more seconds while... Oh wait, she just got out of the bathroom. Come on.
For fuck's sake.
Oh my god, Kate said fuck.
Yes, I did. My goodness. I mean, it's not, it can't just be like, oh, excuse me for just a moment. Yeah. Well, did you read the people's questions?
Well, no, I mean, yeah.
Just read them out loud.
Well,
That's
I
all
didn't
you
do
have
that.
to do.
Yeah, I didn't do it. Well,
So-
I mean, I got that one.
Okay, you got this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you get this one?
I said you might do another Daytona 1 challenge.
Oh, yeah, we will. Yeah. Buck and I are talking about it. I just
Yeah,
don't have
I mean, Buck's
yeah,
a
that was
badass,
really
so.
good. Yeah. And yeah, it's no different in the Midwest. Race is over and people pack up and go home. It used to be we all cracked out a lawn chair and a beer and hung
Yeah,
out.
exactly.
It's really sad if that's gone away. And Cameron
That's gone away there?
Yeah, apparently so. From Joe. That's what Joe's saying.
Oh, that's
Cameron says, Steve, do you still have your fuel injector cleaner in stock that I received from you last time? I don't know which one that one is.
He's referring to the good old Tennessee moonshine.
Oh!
No, I do not. I am currently out of fuel injection cleaner.
There we go. Well, I guess we could kind of wrap this up. And,
If you want to.
Yeah. You know, we're out of questions, and I just want to thank everybody for being here. Do us a favor, go over to Apple iTunes and check out the Racing Insiders podcast. Give us a 5-star review, and we'd certainly appreciate that. That'll help us out. And I want to thank you all for watching and listening. I'll be at Bristol this week, and otherwise we'll be back on the show next Sunday.
I'm gonna get a haircut this week, so I'll look like
good for you.
not a freaking hippie.
Yeah, good for you. Good for you. So, cool deal. Thank you guys all so much for being here, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week.
That's it.
Bye.